Everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jasmine Jewel, and I am here to encourage those diamonds in the rough, those women who feel like the pressures of life are just increasing and it's feeling like a dark space that they're in. I'm here to just show you that there's light at the end of the tunnel, that once you get out of this pruning and pressing process that the Lord has you in, you are going to come out triumphant and just glow like a beautiful gem that you are. And so in this video, we're going to be talking about guarding your heart. And my first point is going to be you have to guard your heart because there are people who are admired and fascinated by you, and that admiration and fascination can quickly turn into jealousy. And for example, the singer and celebrity Selena, who we all have known and loved, she was killed by her manager due to jealousy. And her manager was at one time fascinated and admired by who she was and these accolades that she possessed. And it wasn't until Selena started to become a much bigger global star who was always smiling, who was always happy, who was always showing her accolades and her success to her manager because she thought she could trust her. You're her manager. She's supposed to be happy and telling you everything that she's succeeded. And she thought she could trust her. And because of that admiration and fascination from the manager, she ended up Selena. And that just goes to show that you have to be careful about people who stare at you for a long time with admiration and fascination because, yeah, it may seem like, oh, they're just admiring my beauty when ultimately they're looking for ways to end you in your career. That's why people, when they start to become so obsessed with people and they troll people, they're constantly looking for ways to bring them down. They're looking for ways. So be careful when people who are just staring at you. Think of all those. Now, I'm not sure if you guys know, like certain serial. I'm kind of in a true crime phase, but a lot of serial study the person that they're ultimately wanting to end. And just be careful who is looking at you and who's staring at you. And my second point is you have to lock your heart like you lock your front door. So if you're locking your front door to not let people in, why aren't you locking your space? The space that people come in your bubble pretty much. So there's a Bible verse, Proverbs 4:23, that says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Everything you do. Me doing this flows from it. Me waking up flows from it. Me going to work flows from it. Everything you do flows from your heart. So you have to guard it because if you allow the wrong person into your castle, your kingdom, because this is a temple and you have to treat it as such. So if you're just letting any and everybody into your temple, it's not going to be as sacred anymore. And so how do you guard your heart? Ultimately, you have to hide your happiness. You have to hide your achievements. You have to hide your relationships. That's why several people don't show their relationships on social media because they know the backlash that'll come from it, the monitoring spirits that'll come from it. You ultimately have to sort of live a quiet life. Now, I know this is kind of like strange for me to be saying you have to live a quiet life, but you want to be an influencer, you want to show the world who you are, you want to constantly post. And I'm going to show you guys how you can live a quiet life while also being an influencer. So, the first thing is you have to be prepared for pushback from the critics, from monitoring spirits. There's going to be people who are going to see you and be like, oh, she thinks she's all that. Oh, she was not like that. That's not really her. Um, 2, 3 years ago, this is what she was doing. 5, 6, 7 months ago, this is what she was doing. You don't know the process and the pruning that God has on certain people. If we look at Paul, he changed in 3 days. 3 days. That's all it took for Jesus to change his heart was 3 days. So when people are coming on here and are coming on what you're doing as an influencer, and they are constantly putting their input and their words on your life, you have to be ready to pray against that. You got to be ready for the backlash. You also got to be ready to accept criticism. If there's like a lot of people who are saying something and you're just like, okay, maybe I did do something wrong. Be prepared to apologize. We're human, we're not perfect. If you are big enough to recognize your wrongs, that's one step closer to being better. And so just be ready for pushback. Be ready for people who are going to be like, oh, or not even people, that that thought in your mind, that devil on your shoulder who is basically saying, oh, you're not worth it. You're not worthy. You don't have the finances for this. You don't have the funds for this. Nobody in your family has done this. You push it back with the word of God. You push it back with prayer. You push it back with what the Lord gives you, not just from the Bible, but what He says about you personally. Yeah, nobody in my family has done it before, but He's done it. I've seen Him do it for other people. It's not impossible. It's not impossible to a possible God. You push back against that negative thought. The second point that I have is you have to find the right niche for you. So, back when YouTube used to be really popular, we would see people doing their apartment tours where they would show us like every square inch of their apartment. And that slowly has progressed to like not people showing the entire apartment, their entire apartment. And it has now started to become to where it's like the small little details. That's because people were starting to stalk them. They were starting to pretty much look into their life and wanting to be them. So when you find your right niche of not showing too much to people, it protects your space, it protects your energy from people who deem you no good, who wish harm on you. And it's very important to protect yourself from what people say. When you write things, you're spelling stuff. The word spelling has the word spell in it. So you have to remember how important words are. They can either bless you or curse you. And a spell can be ultimately a curse. That's why the word spelling has spell in it, because people can curse things on you through their words. And so when you're showing your life to people as an influencer, be mindful of showing too much. And this also pertains to when you are giving your body to someone, you are giving your heart to them. I know some people want to be all big, bad Billy Joe and say, oh, well, I didn't feel anything. It was no emotions tied. No, you still have a piece of them is connected to you, and a piece of them is connected to you. So if you have a piece of them connected to you and you don't even know what they're carrying, you now have what they carry. And that could be something so evil. But since you didn't allow God and you didn't allow yourself to go through the vetting process of trying to get to know them, you just wanted to satisfy something, a quick little instant gratification, you now have your heart open to this person. And it's going to be hard for you to guard any other person because you've now allowed your heart to be open. And so it may even take years for God to even close that. And that's why it's so important to guard your heart with people, with places, with things, with everything, because everything flows from it. You have to be stingy with your love. You have to be stingy with your time because a lot of people don't deserve it.